Intuition is a dangerous thing. Humankind has long sought answers, the truth about the stars, ourselves, and all of our reality. Reality defies understanding. Humankind takes shortcuts, leaps on logic, guesswork, acceptance of truths unproven. Reality defies understanding. We use our greatest asset, our intuition, to see the forest without the trees, but overconfidence is a killer. Like a predator evolved to avoid the notice of its prey, the greatest dangers to humanity lurk above and outside of our perception. Reality defies understanding. Yet we try anyways. Intuition is a dangerous thing. Last we left off, y'all had quite a crazy session. You made your way to the town of Dorchester and started investigating around town. You learned a few things. You learned that the frequent hangout spot for the teens of the town was the nearby Reservoir Lake. That's where they would go to be out late, drinking, partying on the beach, all that kind of stuff. Of course, there's like the town bar and things like that, but that was the main place you'd find them. You also tracked down the doctor who had seen poor Billy Spivey and tried to figure out what was wrong with him, but could not figure out what was wrong with him and just sent him home with a bunch of painkillers. The doctor again confirmed that could not figure out what was wrong with him and didn't make really any sense. He thought it might be psychological or something, but hoped the painkillers would help. But it was only one day later that Billy went missing. And killed his father and all that, a whole bunch of stuff, crazy stuff. But that didn't happen last session. The big thing that happened last session was you all went to visit the Spivey residence. You wanted to investigate, see if you could find any clues about Billy, see if Billy was maybe hiding there, or recently hiding there actively, something. You found the place of the murder of Billy's father that has been cleaned up, but the rest of the house clearly has not been used in a week. There's some food going bad and so on and so forth. Everything's dirty. Even some of the doors remained open, like it was left in a hurry and never touched again. And unfortunately, agents Hunter and Hightide were caught in the building while Billy approached. So you snuck out of there as Billy threw a door at you while he tried to escape, and let the others know. You contacted Agent Derringer. The whole gang got together, went out to that residence, the Spivey residence, as the FBI set up a patrol and snipers and a border around this residence. You four are the specialists, so you went in trying to talk Billy down, trying to figure out what was going wrong. But unfortunately, the situation ended with Billy appearing to be completely unresponsive to your words by the end of the conversation. He didn't seem like he could actually see reason anymore. Pain was clouding his mind too much. Maybe a mix of pain and addiction, and maybe a mental pain as well. There was too many things layered on top of each other. He was clearly going insane. Your words did not make your way through. And so the FBI had to shoot Billy. First with tranquilizers, just in case, but after multiple darts of tranquilizers, they didn't really seem to slow him down all that much. And he was approaching the four of you rapidly. So you gave the signal, and the snipers fired 4 sniper rounds into Billy before he finally went down. Agent Hightide suffered a bit of a mental break watching this happen, and was unable to flee with everyone else, so Billy collapsed directly in front of him. That is the scene we left on, but it's not the scene we open on. We're going to open on a scene one day later, as we skip forward in time a little bit. We are going to open with all 4 of you in some kind of waiting room. It appears to be a waiting room at a hospital. And we'll say, yeah, one day later, so it would be the 17th, Friday. We'll say it's 1 p.m. The 4 of you are in a hospital in Lebanon. You've been waiting here for a few hours. You were told to come here the next day after all of you went home and attempted to recover some of your mind after what you had seen and calm your nerves and all of that, but clearly all four of you were pretty shaken by what you saw. I believe only Sapphire got hurt. Is that correct? You took a little bit of damage.
I think that's right.
I think so.
Okay, so
Hunter
Sapphire
nearly got very
See if I
hurt,
can
but
pull up my character
ducked.
sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do we pull up character sheets with this?
There should be a sidebar, and you can hit the Actors tab and pull up your sheet there.
Yeah, Foundry otherwise works the same on the right side of the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but now I've pulled up a comment thing and it's not letting the comment thing go away.
You might
cursor.
tap
There we go.
escape. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at 9 of 12 HP.
Okay, so if you took damage, you did successfully rest in a safe place last night. So you can give me a Constitution ×5 check to see if you got a hit point back. Okay, on a success, you gain 1 hit point back after resting. Your bruises have started to heal, but they're not fully back yet. And you didn't suffer like a crazy wound. You didn't break any bones or lose anything. So you'll pretty easily recover in just a few days here. But the four of you are here in this hospital waiting room, and Agent Derringer will approach. All right, they're ready for you in there. Come on, we got some questions to ask. This is, I'll warn you ahead of time, not a particularly pleasant sight, but, well, you've already seen him.
I kind of find it hard to think that it'd be worse than what we saw before.
Well, it's different. Different, kind of. You'll see. And so he leads you in down a hall and into one of the hospital rooms here, which has a FBI guard outside of it. 2 of them. So yeah, an FBI guard, not a single guard, but like a unit of FBI guard. 2 officers there. He, they recognize him easily, and they recognize you as well because you were at the event. They let you in, and you see in this hospital room, there is, of course, a hospital bed, and there's all sorts of tubes hooked up to poor Billy as he's getting several different medications and things of that nature. And he has casts on his hands and casts on his legs, and he is in really bad shape. But the big thing that you notice in the room is that he is not just laying peacefully in this bed. He is chained down with about a dozen different iron chains binding him down to the bed. The bed appears to have flexed and broken in a few places as he has struggled against it, but he was unable to break free. He's currently sedated. He's very loopy. You can see his head kind of teetering back and forth as his body's internal balance doesn't quite match up with how he's laying down on the bed, but he is conscious. The 4 of you are now in the room. What do you do?
Oh, thank God he is still alive. He's covered. I'm guessing this is all of his broken bones and things from his rampage.
Yeah, he's got a remarkable constitution. We'll talk about that more later, but clearly he was able to survive even all that we threw at him. We'll talk more about that part later. If you have any questions for him, he is awake.
Is he coherent?
As coherent as we can probably let him be at this moment.
So we've surely talked among ourselves about what kind of questions we want to ask him when we have the chance. What sort of questions have we come up with?
I think, I'm sure we want to ask him why he's so intent on where his mother is, and if he means her any harm, given what happened, well, what he did to his father.
Right.
Ask him if what happened with his dad was an accident. Maybe he didn't know his own strength. That was the first incident of that unusual strength, right?
I
Uh,
want
Go
the
ahead.
sleepwalking thing and the pain he's in. Because if this is related to the sleepwalking stuff, then everyone in the town's at risk. Right?
Yeah. Have we found any other evidence that we're trying to tie his sleepwalking to? Like, we think there's some weird stuff going on, maybe with the guy who owns everything in the town, but I guess we haven't talked to Billy yet, so
Yeah.
asking, like you said,
You
about the sleepwalking in general is a good way to start.
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess
you
trying
talk to
to
some
set up a
other.
timeline of events from his side.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and you talk to
He
some other
was
people in town, and it appears that several people around town had this sleepwalking thing happen to them. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
And it's usually sleepwalking around places that the guy owns, right?
I listed a number of different places.
Gotcha.
May or may not be a coincidence just because of how many places he owns in town. But yeah, there were people who appeared outside of town hall, outside of the churches, outside of various businesses around town, always just somewhere out in a public place.
I finally found my notes document. Woo.
Hey, let's go.
So yeah, I guess if we ask Billy about the sleepwalking, we can maybe get some clues that we can go back to some of the other people who have also been sleepwalking and see if some patterns emerge. Is there one of us that we want to be like the spokesperson to start with?
I can do that.
Thank you.
You've got good persuade in human?
Yes.
Oh,
If anyone wants to help or anything, if they're good at persuade or humans, I will accept help also, of course.
This is unfortunately not my area of expertise.
I'm halfway decent,
Okay,
So
real
thing-
quick,
so I can.
to go over all of the questions we have for him, because I'm putting them on the Miro board for those who can't see. Just to make sure I have all the bases covered, I have, does he think what's going on sleepwalking related? Was the incident at home an accident? What does he want his mother for? And there was the other one you were just talking about, which is remind me.
Where people were waking up? Is that what you were talking about? Or is it something different?
There was one more, I think.
I wanted to ask about the pain and see if that was related to anything.
I think we're very sure that's related.
Yeah. But, like,
Uh,
in his
or
words,
Billy's
what came
thoughts?
first?
Okay.
If this is something that's going to spread, we need a timeline of events so we can start figuring out basically who's next if that happens.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe if he recalls where he got his clearly supernatural powers.
Yeah. Okay. So Hallow approaches Billy on the bed. Is there like a water or like a juice sippy cup nearby with like a straw?
Yeah, he's got like
Uh,
a little, a cup that people in the room can help him drink when he needs it.
So yeah, Hallow will walk up and say, "Hey, Billy, you want any water? You want any help?" Just proffers the water cup over to him.
Yeah, thanks.
Here you go. Are you doing okay? Are you doing better than you were yesterday?
Takes a big sip and then takes a deep breath afterwards. I don't know. I can't really feel much.
That's probably good for you. You were screaming about the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Kinda.
found some of your friends in town. They're really worried about you. They told us about the sleepwalking too. And I want you to know that we believe you, that something weird is going on related to it.
The sleepwalking. Right. Feels like a year ago. Sleepwalking.
Do you think that has something to do with what's going on with you? Is from what we heard from your friends, you kind of disappeared from your house, you went on sleepwalking, and then all of this crazy stuff started happening to you.
I don't know. That sounds like it was probably when it all began. How long ago was that? A month? Yesterday?
Some,
I don't know.
it was about 2 weeks ago is when you first went missing.
Oh.
Your trip to the doctor was just a few days after that.
Yeah,
You've been kind of out hiding out wherever you've been for just a little bit over a week. That helps you reconstruct your timeline at all.
I don't remember much over the past 2 weeks, you said?
Yeah, what do you remember?
Well, I suppose 2 weeks ago, by that count, I've been applying for a job lately. It hasn't been going great. I went out with Jane, and then, yeah, I don't know. I was home. His eyes kind of go wide, and he starts to cry a little bit. I remember my father. He starts to hyperventilate.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to think about that too much. At least not right now. We'll come back to it. I do have a little bit of a question about what happened there, but we don't have to do that right now.
It's all a blur. I don't know. The last few weeks, the time before, I don't know. I just don't know.
Do you know why you're looking for your mother? You were very intent on seeing her when we last saw you. She is safe. I can tell you that much right now. I'm sure you understand why we don't have her here, considering what happened before.
This last week was a blur, and I still would like to see her, but
I think that might be able to be arranged.
That's good. I'm worried, and
What happened with
can't
your
do
father?
this.
That was an accident? You didn't mean to?
No, I didn't. No, of course not.
I'm sorry I had to ask. It's something that we have to ask every time. So when you disappeared, that seems to have been when this all started, when you came back.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Where did you go on your date with your girlfriend? Because that seems to be one of the last places you were before all of this really started happening. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were at the country bunker. That's where we were.
Country bunker.
Yeah, the town and bar, the town, the bar in town, the bar in town.
Okay. So, and that's the one that Hallow and Hematite were at before?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks up at you with his eyes like very suddenly get a little worried. He's like, we weren't drinking. No, but it's just the only place in town.
Oh no, that's okay. already ran into your friends there playing pool. We know you hang out there. The bartender is very, very good at making sure that, you know, nothing untoward goes on.
Yeah, that was where Jane and I were at the country bunker. And then, yeah, the next thing I remember is being home and shortly running away from home.
Were you in pain all day, or did it start when you got home?
Yeah, it was not when I was with Jane. No, when I was home. I went to see the doctor. I remember that now. Doctor couldn't find anything. Fucking quack.
I can see why you'd feel that way, given your situation.
These doctors find anything?
I'm afraid not. They're just as stumped. It's part of why I and my friends are here. We're sort of investigating what's going on, and we'd like to find out what happened to you and see if we can, you know, either make it better or make sure nobody else is subjected to such a tragedy.
I don't know. It's all just been a blur, and it hurt so much. I don't remember.
Do you know what caused the pain?
I just
Or where the pain was centered?
everywhere. Everything hurt.
So your skin, your bones, your organs, all the way through, you're just pain.
Yeah, everything. I don't know. Not so much my head, I guess.
Did it start anywhere in particular? Or just
Everywhere.
everywhere all at once suddenly hurt?
I was at the bar with Jane, and then I was home, and it hurt. It hurt so bad.
Did you remember how you got home?
He starts breathing heavier. No, I don't. I don't remember anything.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Billy. I think we might just let you take it easy for a little bit. We're gonna go do a little bit more investigating. We'll talk to the police here and see if we can't, set up something between you and your mother. Just so both of your anxiety can be set to rest a little bit, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna get some sleep. Slowly closes his eyes. Well, you can see, doesn't remember much. We tried to give him some questions earlier. Not as thorough as you all did, but,
I think we might need to talk to his girlfriend. Because if he doesn't remember how he got home and the pain started there.
Yeah, that is probably a good idea. Listen, let's find somewhere private to talk away from Billy. There's a couple more things to go over.
Of course.
So it'll lead you out of that particular hospital room, and down to like another. It looks like a meeting room basically, and the door gets shut into that room. They get more FBI guards positioned outside of it, and all of you are hanging out in this room with Agent Derringer. Pulls up a chair. All right, listen. The doctors found some real weird shit. We're gonna need to. But I've already kicked things off to make sure they become friendlies and not future targets. But that's not your business right now, unless you think you need to investigate them at some point. But the doctors found some real weird shit, and thankfully, they brought it to my attention.
What kind of weird shit?
Well, some analysis of his body as they were trying to figure out what was going on. He's got these scars all over his body. We couldn't quite see them with our eyes, but well, their precise instruments picked them up a lot quicker, and then now that they've seen them a little more clearly, yeah, this weird scar tissue. It's not normal scar tissue.
You think that
It's
might be
everywhere.
related to the pain? That's why
I think
he's
so.
feeling pain.
And it gets
Is
worse.
there any sort of pattern?
Yes. Not a pattern as symbols or anything of that nature, but, well, that brings me to the part where it gets worse. It appears, Billy is gone under some kind of really fucked up surgery. Nothing natural, I tell you that. Listen, these scars and their placements and the tissue underneath, the little samples they've taken, it's nothing we've ever seen before. Every muscle in that poor boy's body has been replaced with something not human. His skeleton has not changed, but it explains all the broken bones, but every single muscle completely different. Some of his organs, too, it appears. We're still trying to work out what that really means, but we've gotten that far.
If it's not human, what is the closest thing?
You think it might be aliens? You know, they abduct people and do all that mutilating of cows, right? You think that could be connected?
Honestly, I don't know what to believe here, and that's really all your specialization. But if you think it's aliens, it certainly could be. Are you telling me aliens are
Agent.
real?
Yeah, sure sounds like aliens to me.
Agent, I have an idea.
All kinds of websites about them.
I'm big on aliens, but let's try to keep it a little bit more direct right now. But Agent, do you think we might be able to get any of the other people from town who have claimed to have sleepwalked or this similar kind of deep inspection by a doctor just to make sure that it's not related? Because if it is, there's a lot of people in that town who claimed to have sleepwalked and woke up somewhere they don't remember.
Well, we can certainly try, but unfortunately, the procedure is fairly invasive, and the doctors only noticed because they were in there pulling bullets out of him in the first place. It would be a lot to start rounding people up and cutting open their insides to figure out what's sticking in there.
Well,
Right.
I don't think you have
That is a
to.
bit much.
I don't think you have to do it to everyone. Just the oldest case after Billy.
If it's all the muscles and everything, shouldn't you be able to like shine like really bright light on like somebody's hand, and you'd be able to see if there was like really dark scar tissue in there, right? You know sometimes that's what you do to when you need to see if stuff's healing after you give like a pig some shoulder surgery. So that seems like you could just do that on people too. Probably be easier. There's a lot less in the way.
These scars are a little strange, the doctors were telling me. I'll be honest, I don't know much about this medical science, but well, they appeared to the naked eye and to all visible properties to just be human skin. They just had some other physical properties that were different. But I will say, some, maybe not good news, but some neutral news. We have some tissue samples, and, well, the doctors I've been told they're trying to figure out a way to detect this stuff. It's just going to take some time.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah,
Doesn't
we're
really
not
help us
sure.
right now,
but-
though.
No, but we're hoping you all can get in there and start figuring some things out. Try and find out who those oldest cases are. Start getting more leads. We'll get this detector ready for you, and we'll bring it out to you. But here's what I propose: you go to Dorchester. You get a room there. You stay there the weekend. Maybe, hopefully, not longer than that. But if it takes longer than that, then that's how it goes. And you start investigating. We'll give you a cover story. You'll be investigating drug activity in the area that's crossed the border to Vermont, giving you FBI jurisdiction. We'll get you all fake FBI badges and so on and so forth. And under that cover, you should be able to investigate pretty much anywhere in town. They're not gonna... Well, they may resist you, but with the full threat of the FBI behind you, not too many places will actually turn you down.
Appreciated. Credentials go a long way.
Indeed. So how does that sound? You can head up there tonight, get working, get investigating. We'll get the detector to you as soon as we can. We'll let you know if anything changes with Billy.
Oh, before we go, can we set up a meeting between Billy and his mother? He's very concerned, and it sounds like the incident with his father was an accident. He's also very restrained.
He is. We'll monitor him, and if nothing changes in the next day or so, I think that's reasonable.
Great. He's really scared, and I think that's...
I think we're all scared, and definitely him most of all. You're right about that. Okay, well, we've got a lot of work to do. Any other questions, or should we get this rolling?
Let's do it.
All right. He reaches into like one of his jacket pockets and pulls out 4 badges, hands them over to you. Well, I guess maybe Hallow... Would it be better for Hallow to get a new fake badge not related to his real badge for this, or would you just use your real badge and get assigned to this drug case that's fake? What do you think? Would be better?
I think it helps credibility if I am in my real form, I guess, as an FBI agent.
Okay, so you'll hand over 3 fake badges, and yeah, so you've got those, and you've still got your like.
It'll also make things with Ashley easier later.
Yes.
And not just disappeared on nothing. It's like, oh, okay, you were on a case.
You're on a case. Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Okay, so you'll actually use your ID. What's up?
Sapphire's gonna roll her eyes and like hold it up and say, "You think anyone will actually believe that I'd work for a government agency?"
Well,
we have all types. Maybe this is your first field assignment.
Sure.
yeah, there's that. Maybe you could not flash your badge unless you really need to and be a consultant as your cover case or something. That's up to you how you want to handle it. If you want to change your attire to make it more believable, listen, you're the specialist here. However you want to handle this, I will leave it to you.
All right. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like consultant might be a little bit more believable, seeing as I don't have any other type of clothes because I never needed any.
Well, you have your opera dress.
There is that.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna go talk with the doctors again. We'll give you updates. And good luck out there.
Definitely. Oh, and it might soothe Billy's mind as well if you could tell him a little bit about what the doctor said. Just tell him that they found something that they are pretty sure why he's in pain. They're working on, solving it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll feed him something. Thank you. And I'll give you a friendly nod, head out the door, and you four are left in that meeting room. Do you have any conversation to have with each other before you head out to Dorchester, or what's the plan?
Just a couple remarks. So we're going to be going back into town. I guess
Yeah.
it was only myself and Hematite that were talking to anybody out there, and it was really just the bartender and some kids. So I think
Yeah, but a little town like that, we're just gonna have spread all over the place. Everybody's gonna know who you are, and then they're gonna know who we are. I guess they don't know who you are, but you know, I don't
well,
know. Maybe
fortunately, only Hematite actually spoke to anyone. I was just nearby the whole time, so
I
she
think-
can lay low a little bit.
I think Hematite insinuated that she was a cop of some kind as well, right? So like maybe the story still just
sure.
tracks.
I don't remember
I'm pretty
that.
Sure I'm pretty sure I went out of my way to say I wasn't a cop, but I
yeah,
could
you
be
have to
wrong.
tell me if
Maybe.
you're a cop.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because like,
maybe
you have to tell me a cop. It's the law.
Yeah, there was something about like, oh, I'm the type of person that helps fix these issues or something like that, which insinuated something, maybe, I don't know, vigilante.
Well, telling
But,
people
yeah.
that you're not a cop is exactly what a cop would say. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, I think there's still good room for your previous appearance to just be part of the same investigation.
Okay.
Yeah, especially with my fascination with all things weird and metaphysical.
there might be some question why we're keep on digging into it. If people, you said we should act like we're here for some kind of drug thing, but like people are gonna be asking how that deals with Billy in particular, and like how should we deal with that?
Methamphetamine.
Could always go
Yeah.
mass hallucination, something in the water maybe. If we're to excuse why we're looking into all of the sleepwalking stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Then we're not like accusing anybody. So unless
I guess outside of the public services who manage the
Yeah.
water.
yeah, I guess whoever's like running the town, mayor might be like whoever might be
The guy who
really
owns
pissed
the
off, and then
town.
yeah, and then but then all we have are like FBI badges to show, and he's not gonna believe that. So then who do we tell? If people who should know better
Well, see,
ask, then what do we tell them? Because we could tell
don't
them,
worry, Hunter. I am FBI. They check my credentials,
okay.
and we're all good.
Yeah, but like, what do we tell them? Like, yeah, sure, we're FBI, but like, so we tell them that we're here for the drugs, and I guess they
Drug
probably just
smuggling ring?
There are
Maybe
drugs. Maybe we think Billy got caught up in it, and they drugged him up and set him off and turned him into this wandering druggie who caused a bunch of problems, and we're here to clean it up.
I mean, that would
Okay,
track
cool.
because he disappears at random times and then shows up again, and everything that happened, maybe we could chalk it up to withdrawal.
He was out there searching for painkillers the whole time. All of the robberies that mentioned just foodstuffs and painkillers taken. No money. Sure, he got
Well, that's kind
violent
of
a few
suspicious,
times.
then, right? If you didn't take any money, yeah, people probably won't care though.
No, they won't care. They'll see the painkillers, and that's what they care about. Because if he's just stealing painkillers, what does he need to buy them for? What does he need money for?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, and to strategize when we get back into town, someone needs to find Jane and find out how the rest of that night went in between the date and Billy getting home. When was the last time she saw Billy?
I've been talking to the kids, so they might I think they were gonna check up on Jane as well, so maybe she knows that some weird lady's been poking around.
You
I
know, I
could do that.
remember
That's
you
a good
talk.
idea.
I remember you mentioning that to them, so that's a good idea.
Well then, what do the rest of us do? Because that was like, I guess the only. I guess we find. How are we gonna find the people who were dreaming? Do we like put up a sign and say, "Have you been sleepwalking? Come, but come do what? Come talk to us." We just
There's a
knock on doors and ask
reporter in
people.
town. Actually, there's a guy who takes this very seriously. He was staying at a motel when we were there. We did actually. Hematite and I were on our way to talk to him when you guys called us about Billy.
Oh, you guys were just getting all kinds of stuff done. Wow, good job with that.
Thanks.
I
You guys found Billy. That's a big thing too.
yeah, yeah, thanks. So, like, then some of us can go talk to the journalist, and I bet he's got whatever information of who we can check up on. Probably even come along with us, maybe make it easier. Probably has already talked to some of these people.
Potentially, I think he's going to be a invaluable source of information if we find him.
He probably, if he's the type of person I think he is, he probably will not, um, go for the government line very well.
Well, that's what we can. Huh, that's a good point. Huh.
Fortunately, Hematite, you don't look like government. And
True.
honestly, kind of
Also,
neither does Hunter.
Yeah, I'm happy to
whatever
say that's not the
resident
case for me.
got sent out to look at crop circles and stuff like that.
Oh, I've been
If
here for
you,
that.
yeah, if you use that angle and do it as a personal research project, that maybe you're using government contacts to use information. That
Honestly, he might
might,
get a kick out of a government agent using his connections to look into weird stuff.
You think I should
yeah,
just tell him right away? I think it's aliens. You think he'd go for that? Or you think
Maybe,
he'd
maybe
just think
keep
we're
that one a
crazy?
little bit. Maybe
Okay.
save that one for a little bit into the conversation. Drop it when it seems necessary, right? Yeah. I'm not saying don't, but I'm also saying maybe don't lead with that.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
if this is the same guy I'm thinking of, he'll probably go that route on his own.
Cool.
And honest, we all know aliens exist. Come on, guys.
All right, so we got some
All right.
ideas of what people are doing.
And break.
And break, exactly. All right. So you all get in your cars, you head back up to Dorchester. It's probably going to take you about an hour to get there. And then, you were chatting for maybe a little under an hour with stuff in the hospital and you getting in your cars and all that kind of stuff. So you're probably going to arrive there about 3 p.m. It's, mid-afternoon. Definitely not close to the sun going down quite yet, but plenty of time to investigate under the sunlight before it becomes the weekend for real out here. And of course, most boat businesses still open at this time of day, so you've got your pick of where you're going. Who should we start with, and where are you going? There's a few different options there. I'm not sure. Are y'all going to stick together and do things together, or are y'all going to split up and do stuff as groups?
Hunter was intending to go see the journalist. Not sure who wanted to go with him.
Hello.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, if you two want to hit that, we can do a little bit of divide and conquer. I would prefer if Hematite talked to the local kids because she already has rapport with them.
We could all talk to the reporter. That would be a good establish ourselves in the community.
Yeah, we could do that. Just all start in the one location and move from there.
And
And
if he has any leads, we can figure that out as well.
just hope he doesn't get spooked by a whole bunch of people trying to talk to him about this, especially if even if we don't lead with the FBI thing, if he later finds out a whole bunch of FBI were the ones talking to him, a little worried he might decide not to talk to us anymore, maybe even leave town.
Well, hopefully he doesn't do that.
Yeah, that'd be a real bummer.
I mean, at least a couple of us have solid connections, and like I've interacted with this person not in person, but on like I've interacted with his work before.
Also, journalists are tenacious motherfuckers, Hunter.
That's pretty
I've dealt with
cool.
them a couple of times.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know journalists very well, so I guess I'll take your word for it. Uh, can someone like maybe call and ask if it's okay if we go meet up with him so he knows we're coming? I can drive us.
Do you have his contact details, Hematite?
Probably best if we stop by the. What time of day is it?
3 p.m. when you get there.
Okay.
So what you know
be
about him
better-
so
I'm gonna.
so-
Oh, sorry. I was gonna
Um,
suggest stopping by the local library.
yeah. Trying to remember if they have a library. Because I don't necessarily see one listed. There is a high school which might have a library in it. But I don't specifically see a separate library.
Okay, so then I'd want to do that on our way in, because basically the idea I'm going for is using the library computer to send an email or forum message to the journalists using my online persona.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so that's
That
easily
way,
accomplished. Maybe you could do that, like, yeah, as you
he
drive on the
doesn't get a
way.
random call from somebody that's too suspect. But if I'm reaching out through more appropriate channels for conspiracy theories.
The information superhighway.
Indeed. So yeah, perhaps on the way to Dorchester, you spin your car off to a.
This might be a deep cut, but if you know the Something Awful forums, there you go.
There you go. Yes. You head off to some public library on the way that you know of, a place that would have a public computer you could access temporarily. And what kind of message do you send? What are you emphasizing when you communicate with them? Are you going to tell them that you're with the police investigating this stuff? Are you just going to give them an anonymous tip or say, "Hey, can we come visit you? We're in town." Like, what's the vibe?
Kind of more me and a couple like-minded individuals found ourselves in the same area, and I think we're following the same leads, so maybe we can share information.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So the information you did get on him before is that his name is Scott Adams. He runs a amateur newspaper called Watch the Skies with an exclamation point. And the townspeople said he's been in town for a couple weeks investigating stuff. So that's what you know about him so far. And since you know his newspaper name and all that, probably easy enough to find him online through your usual, occult forums and stuff that you mentioned before. So you find him easily, and you send him this message. And do you wait for a response, or are you going to head into town and just hope that that's a good enough heads up, or?
That would depend on whether or not he is online.
He is not online.
Okay.
Maybe
So
we check
then-
into our hotel first.
Yeah, I would just head into town and I can give him a phone call if need be. But that way it won't be completely out of the blue.
Yeah,
If
makes
that makes
sense.
any sense.
So you drop that message off and then continue driving to catch up with the others in town. And so probably slightly after 3 p.m. then, maybe not too much though, 3:15, you all get into Dorchester and you head straight to Merle's Shut-Eye then, the only motel in town.
Which I'm pretty sure he is also at.
It corrects that you were told he would be at the motel, yeah. Or that he was staying at the hotel at the very least.
Mhm.
All right, so it's a pretty small place. This Merle's Shut-Eye. It's maybe only a dozen room motel. Not a terribly large place, but it is a motel with classic all the doors facing outwards. There's no interior hallways or anything of that nature. You just pull up your car. There's the one main administrative building off to the side where you would go and get your keys and register and all that. Check in. That's the word I was looking for. So you head there, I assume, directly to the office.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So inside there is a small desk. There's the large sign over the door that says Merle Shut-Eye, of course. But it's a pretty rundown small place. It appears they don't get too many visitors here, and they just keep it running because Merle's got enough money to keep it running, and the town's got to have some place for visitors to stay. But yeah, pretty run down. It's a little dirty. Looks like it doesn't get cleaned super often in here, and there's nothing really fancy about this room here. There is a young lady at the front desk, and she has a computer system at the desk that it appears she uses to check people in, which is old and decrepit even by 90s standards. So it's just an extremely slow, simple system that doesn't do anything but what it's designed to do. But she is there, and she types a few things away. She sees you come in. Yes, hello. Merle's Shut-Eye. Can I get you a room? 4 rooms? Two rooms? How many rooms?
I think 4 rooms will be good.
4 rooms. If we could have them close together or any adjoining rooms, that would make life
Yeah, of course.
easier for sure.
4 rooms. Any estimate on how long you'll be here? Not that we have a pressing need to kick you out, but it's just for the system. You understand?
Let's call it 4 days to start.
All right, 4 rooms, 4 days. Okay, that'll be. And she'll go on and calculate a price for you. I'm not going to try to pretend I know what the prices of motel rooms in small towns were in the 90s, but she gives you what sounds like a reasonable price to you all, and you get your rooms. Separate key for each of you. You're in rooms 8 through 12. Or, well, 8 through 11, I guess.
I'll take 11. For
Take
whatever
8.
it's worth.
I don't care. I'll take what's left.
All right, so each grab a key. Let's see. So you're at the motel. You got your keys to your rooms. Do you want to try and find Scott Adams' room here, or what's the vibe?
I don't. Whatever Hematite is comfortable with for Scott dealing with Scott.
Are there any rooms that look occupied? Because if this is a small enough town, it's probably like 1 or 2 other hotel rooms.
Yeah, it makes sense. There are a couple rooms that are occupied at the moment. It appears rooms 1 through 5 are occupied, and room 7 is occupied. Yeah. So 12, 8, and 5 are not occupied. Most of the rooms are occupied here. Yes.
Okay. Then is there any one that seems a little bit more conspiracy nut vibes from it?
Ooh.
Is there a room 13?
13. Hell yeah. It only 12 rooms here, unfortunately. But let's see, what skill would be good for that? Top of my head was human, but I don't know if that might just be over relying on human. if maybe there's a better skill for figuring out what room looks most conspiracy theory-y.
Occults.
I could see a cult working, yeah. I'll let you pick.
I'll go with human because I'm slightly better at that.
Okay, so you just try to find one of the rooms that looks a little strange, but all these
Yeah.
rooms look pretty much the same from the outside. You know, they've got a single window facing outwards each. They all have blinds pulled over them. A single door with like a peephole, but you can't see the other way through it, and you can't really see into any of the rooms. So, not much to go off of.
Okay. We could ask at the front desk. I don't know if they'll give us an answer.
Well, you can show your badge if it comes to that.
Yeah, maybe I could ask the hotel person to call up and say that there's someone interested, someone who sent him a message, and
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
that way they don't have to tell me what room he's in or anything like that.
Hey, Agent High Tide. Haven't heard from you in a minute. Hello, hello.
What's that?
You've been hanging out with everybody as they're trying to figure out what's going on here, but you've been just something's been weird. Give me a sanity check, please.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You're chilling outside this motel looking at these rooms. You don't lose any sanity for this. But you start to feel a familiar feeling. You start to see something on the edges of one of these doors. Something on the glass of the window to one of these rooms, like a smudge or maybe some mold growing on the glass. That mold looks familiar.
Oh. Is it the same mold from the Rainbow Rock?
It is that same mold. You get
How
up closer
many-
to. Do you want to get up closer to look at it? Sorry, what are you doing? My bad.
So are we inside the motel right now talking, or are we still outside?
It is a motel without like an interior hallway. It's just the doors facing out to the parking lot, basically, for each room. So you're you're outside, kind of in front of some of the rooms.
Okay, well, I would, given the microwave capability of the rock prior, I would point it out to everyone else.
So you
And
turn
ask
back
them
to
if
the
they see
others. You point your finger at it. You ask, "Yeah, do you see it?" You point your finger at the door, and then you turn back, and you no longer see it either.
No.
Which room was it?
Room number 5.
Probably just the sun.
Might
Well,
be a sign.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
knock on the door to room number 5.
Hematite walks up and boldly just knocks on the door. No answer.
Is there like a do not disturb thing on the door?
Yeah, now that you mention it, actually, yes, there is a do not disturb thing on the door.
Okay, I'll knock one more time, and then if nothing else, then I will move on.
You knock on the door again. Yep, no response. A lot of sound from inside, so you return back to the group.
All right.
Hematite, did you want to go ask the front desk to ring for him, and we can stand by the door to see if it's this door that starts ringing?
Okay. Sounds as good as anything.
You guys think of all these things that I'd never think of by myself. It's really good that I'm not the only person who has to do this.
We'll
So-
find your strengths.
So who goes up to the front desk?
I think I would go by myself,
Okay.
and I'd probably fetch a brightly colored shawl, maybe the one that I brought to go with the opera dress, from my car, just to enhance the mystique a little bit.
Hmm.
And then
Hunter,
I would
sorry.
go in and basically fangirl over this guy.
Okay, so you head up to the
Nice.
front desk. The young lady at the desk there sees you come in and, you need anything? Like fresh ice or?
My dear, I need a favor. I've heard that Mr. Scott Adams, famed reporter of Watch the Skies, might be staying at this very residence.
Oh no, are you one of those UFO nuts?
Guilty as charged.
Ah. There's more of you every. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be insulting the guests.
Oh, no worries. I've heard it all and some.
Listen, I shouldn't talk about the other guests that are here. That would not be proper.
Of course. If he is here, could you ring him and tell him that a valuable blue gem is awaiting him in the lobby?
That's mysterious, but sure, yeah, why not? She clearly seems like frustrated and she's kind of shaking her head, but she's probably heard weirder requests, so she pulls up the office phone, the landline, and just dials a few numbers on it. It rings.
As a point of making sure that we're spread out a little bit, how will be closer to room 1, just in case, so that he can hear if it's one of the other rooms, not just room 5. If we're
Hunter-
pinpointing where this guy lives.
Hunter is desperate to try to think of some, like, strategic thing that'll prove that he is a strategic person. So he's going to just open his room door and just, like, lounge in the open door smoking a cigarette.
All right.
Is very casual.
Yes.
Maybe whistling a little bit, just to be very
Yeah.
normal. Yeah. Smoking and whistling is a great combination.
The neurodivergent in me is like, yes, that's a normal thing.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. So
I find that really funny because I feel like High Tide and Hallow would keep trying to like hush him, being like, shh.
Like, come on, man.
perfect. That's so
You
good.
don't understand, I got a system.
Yeah, it's true. So you're all stationed at your very strategic posts for optimal listening efficiency. Hematite's up at the front desk, and the lady at the front desk you hear the phone ring up next to her head. It's pretty quiet in this room otherwise. It rings, and those of you up outside the motel rooms, you do hear the soft chime of a phone coming from inside room 5. The front desk phone rings and rings. Yeah, I'm afraid he may not be in, or he just may not want to answer right now. I apologize. I'll keep trying, and if I do contact him or see him, I'll let him know that was it a blue gem, blue diamond, blue valuable blue gem. Yeah. I should write
know what
that
it means.
down. She nods. A blue gem. Scribble something down. I'll pass on the message.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, let me know if you need anything else.
Of course. I'm surprised you think so critically of us, given the town that you live in.
Yeah, it's just... It never ends. They keep on bringing this stuff up. I'm sorry, I shouldn't offend you. It's been a long time, and people with your interests keep coming to our town, and it's good business for the motel, but it's most everyone that's going to stay in a motel in a town like this. I just hoped, the four of you showing up as a group, he'd be somebody different. He didn't look like the normal crazies, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
Don't mind me. I'm the crazy one of the bunch, and they all know it. They're here because I wanted to chase some leads.
I see.
My friends
Well,
are humoring me. They
we
think
do
I ought not to be left unattended.
we do appreciate the business, so thank you. So those of you out
Alright.
front of the motel, you heard the ringing inside? Not a thing shifted otherwise.
Okay.
All right,
I'm still whistling.
Yeah.
I would probably wait for Hematite to get back and then ask if we knew how long it had been since he was last heard from.
I do not know. Probably best to check was there a diner there?
There's the Country Bunker, which kind of serves as the only real restaurant and bar in town.
Okay. I wasn't
there
sure if
is
there was
another
like a
diner.
cafe or something.
Yeah, there is another diner. That is true as well.
I think best check at the diner in the Country Bunker, see if he's come in for any meals.
I think it's time for us to get a meal. So let's go to the diner. We can ask the waitress and see what else is going on there.
We can also
Sounds
ask
good.
about cars and stuff to see if it's in the motel parking lot or not.
I think it's probably
know-
pretty safe to wager he's not here.
That's actually a really good point. You look around the parking lot here just for any cars that are a little unusual. And you do see like the stereotypical like crazy person conspiracy nut, like white van with a big antenna on top, that kind of stuff.
Does the license plate say aliens?
It does say it says like WTS, like watch the skies.
Also got
WT
got
skies
the
or something
bumper
like that.
sticker with alien on board.
Yeah, so you clearly see.
I
It
met
couldn't
my
be
wife at
anyone else's car.
Roswell.
Looks like probably his vehicle is here.
Well,
It
I
looks
would.
like a van version of Sapphire's car. She's got the sedan version covered with hippie bumper stickers and all.
Yes,
I feel
exactly.
I feel like it would be really funny if you parked next to it and we just kind of
Yeah.
turn around and we're just like, huh.
Yeah, you go
We're
to
just kind
leave
of
for
a
the
group.
diner.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So you see that van there. So it appears his vehicle is here
Was that at the
What?
diner or the motel?
at the motel.
Okay.
There's only so far you can go on foot in this town, so either he's here or we have another missing person to add to the list.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's the same Rainbow Rock, who knows if it fried him in his room?
Well, I didn't see anything, so I don't see how that has anything to do with it.
I haven't seen any
If it
bottles
was the
lately.
Rainbow
So
Rock, we all wanted to get out.
True.
well, we'll find
That
out what this
rock-
guy knows.
Yeah. It seems to make people paranoid and less risk adverse than usual.
So
And if he does have, go ahead.
let's just assume, just to skip time a little bit here, let's assume you guys head to the diner and you're having this conversation there over coffee while you're waiting on your food and stuff, just to set the scene.
Okay.
You may continue. So you're chatting about, like the Rainbow Rock and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one seated near you, so you maybe talking in hushed voices, but you don't think anyone's overhearing you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, Rainbow Rock that makes people crazy. Could be drugs.
Yeah,
Is-
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is the diner close enough to point at the motel from where we are?
Yeah, it's about it'll probably be about a 5-minute walk.
Well, I would probably ask the wait staff how long it had been since that vehicle had been moved. The big white van.
Ah, oh, the that UFO guy. Yeah, crazy. I've never seen a van like that. They usually come through, but you know, not big antenna like that. That's new. Um, oh, I don't know. It's just kind of blended into the background at this point. Few days. I mean, he's been here like a couple weeks.
Have you seen the UFO guy recently?
You know, now that you mention it, this would be about the time that he would come in for a meal. I haven't seen him, but I didn't really think about it. He's usually pretty quiet. He comes in, he gets a coffee, he gets a couple waffles and some bacon, and he's good to go. Um, but no, yeah, he's not been here. That is strange.
Hmm.
Did he mention the last place he was going to go investigate? 'Cause, look, we're also kind of alien hunter types. My friend here's a fan of his work, and I had similar interests as well. I don't know as much about him, but
You know, last I heard, he was just interviewing a bunch of folks around town. I didn't have anything interesting to tell him, so he didn't have any questions for me. But I think he was just going around, just gathering information. I guess, just talking to everybody. I've never
Alright.
seen I ain't seen no UFOs or no other alien activity, so I didn't have anything interesting. I'm afraid to say.
no,
What
he's
about
never
the
been.
sleepwalking?
Yeah, he never
You or any
sleepwalked.
of your family?
Well, my grandpap he's got a history of sleepwalking. Has for a few years, you know, just every couple nights he'll wake up and start getting ready for work, basically. But then he'll wake up before he completely gets in his car.
Okay, but not like the whole people finding themselves outside of town hall kind of deal.
Oh, no, I thought that was just like a a crazy rumor people are telling each other to scare each other, that kind of thing.
Well, it's drugs. That's probably what it is.
Oh, a
That's what they've
drug
been
problem
saying.
here in Dorchester?
Yeah.
We really hope not.
I hope not either. That stuff will ruin people's lives. We don't want that here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it's not good stuff.
Fortunately, or unfortunately, it seems like small towns like this tend to be good network spots because they stay under the radar so much, actually.
Oh goodness. Well, that's not good.
So
Oh, I'll have to keep
probably
an eye out.
not anyone in town, just, you know,
So be wary of
maybe it's
every stranger that comes through town. Got it.
Well, maybe not that.
stranger danger is real, and some of the conspiracy nuts are actually dangerous, but
Not
in
not her
general,
though.
Yeah,
She's
the
really
waitress
normal,
starts
actually.
looking around at all of you and takes a couple steps back.
Can I have some more coffee?
Hallow just kind of puts his head in his hands a little bit, like, ugh.
He, like holds the coffee
looks
out
like
at
I
like
could put a fly.
Thank you.
full arm's length, pours the coffee to like not get any closer to you.
It's really good coffee. I'm not just saying that.
Honestly, though, like, do I look like I could hurt somebody?
I'm not a very good judge of that. I'll be honest. But no, I don't. Of course not. No, what am I thinking? Who would tell somebody that you're gonna hurt them before you hurt them, right? That's crazy talk.
I own a bookstore that's dedicated to the weird and unusual, and that's what I do for a living.
I'm pretty sure I saw her swerve, so she didn't hit a butterfly. I don't think she
bless
hurt
your heart.
anybody.
You saw that?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what was going on.
And people say I'm a bad driver. I'm just conscientious.
See, I was not paying that much attention. I thought you just swerved because you weren't paying attention.
Serves you right for not paying attention.
Yeah, I realize the
Right.
hypocrisy in that now that I say it.
The waitress has kind of been standing there awkwardly. She's like, If you need any more waffles, I'll be over there. Chill.
Thank you.
Oh my God, are we at Waffle House?
Oh,
yes,
no.
yes, you're at the Waffle Diner.
Make a
Is that-
sanity roll.
Oh goodness! Now I hope somebody out there has made a Waffle House shotgun scenario for Delta Green. That would be funny. But
I mean,
anyways,
I think,
yeah, continue your conversation.
Yeah, so I think probably we'd finish our meal and keep an eye on the door, see if he comes in while we're eating.
So I
Yeah.
guess the question is he like hurt and needs our help, or is he just hiding because he knows that we're looking for him? Because those are like two very different things for what should we do next. Because like if he's hurt or dead, then we definitely should just like break in. But if he's hiding from us and we break in, is definitely not going to help us.
I don't think
Well, I
he
mean-
knows we're here.
Yeah, I mean,
We did
even when
knock on his door.
yeah, but even when the phone was ringing, there was no shuffling inside of his room.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was being like really still.
When we asked the wait staff, did they say he hadn't been in, like he was in yesterday for his normal meal? Or,
Well, they said a couple days.
okay.
He hasn't been seen by the staff for a couple of days. Well, that's suspicious to me.
That's before we even got here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's pretty suspicious.
He might have asked the wrong person the right question.
So then, do we need to go to the front desk? Maybe have somebody else explain kind of what's going on? Because otherwise, we're just some crazy fans breaking into his room, and they're just gonna call the cops on us.
I mean, I could say that I spoke with the waitress and I'd like a wellness check.
We should probably
Yeah.
also check on a couple of other locations in town. I mean, there's also
Yeah.
still, what
We'll
is
do
it?
that
There's still the
first.
country bunker. We still got to try and check in on, Billy's friends and Jane.
You guys do also have, FBI badges that'll probably open some doors for you if you want to flash them. But just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, once we start
saving
doing
that for when I
definitely
need it.
gonna
Yeah.
raise things are gonna move forward. I assume.
Hmm.
This is a heads up, guys. My laptop's at 18%.
Oh no.
Okay.
We'll get what we can.
If it dies, I might have. Jordan, are you okay just rolling stuff for me?
That's fine. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So I'm just going to turn it off because sometimes it dies at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, I can roll stuff for you. That's fine.
Yeah. It's a MacBook from 2016.
Oh goodness.
I mean, I'm a Apple Vati pointer, but you know what? They have reliable products.
Yeah. I got it because going into music school, Apple has good sound software and stuff.
All the
That they
software is
do.
Apple.
Makes sense.
A lot of creation stuff was built for Apple. Like the entire
Yeah.
Adobe suite was built for Apple.
Yeah, so I got it because that's what they recommended for anybody in the School
Yeah.
of the Arts.
Makes sense.
Anyways.
So in Delta Greenland.
Oh, we have to come back here?
Yeah, I know. I know you might have to roll some sanity checks, but all of your characters just had a quick out of body experience. It's fine.
We just started ranting about MacBooks.
Yes, which are currently not very good products, and then I mean they're probably fine products, but by today's standards, they're very big, blocky. They did have MacBooks though.
They're the way of the future. We're all gonna play Oregon Trail after this.
They looked like more like recent like Lenovo big blocky laptop kind of things. Anyways, so you guys have finished up your meal at the diner. You got some options here. You know this guy hasn't been seen in a couple days over at the motel. That's kind of suspicious. You've got some other leads you could check on. What do you want to do here?
I mean, yeah, a couple days ago would line up with the robberies at the gas stations if he ran into Billy somewhere, but we only know he murdered one person, so.
I think we know that he injured people before also at other gas stations. That was just the only one who was caught on camera.
kind of expect like the door to be ripped off the hinges if Billy was responsible.
But also, I think it is worth checking out his room. I think I'd like to go and check out the country bunker, and after that, if nobody there has seen him lately, then we, start flashing badges.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Get a drink, get a couple drinks for when everything goes to shit, because of course it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone
And
actually.
also that'll make the whole beer thing this morning or yesterday look a little less weird.
Yeah. And on top of that, Billy's friends are likely to be there. Given the time of day, that's kind of where they hang out. Hematite, if you want to try and talk to them while I talk to the bartender.
That would work.
So Jane wasn't here when you were first talking to them, was she?
No.
No. She was
I think
at home,
Billy's
I think.
friends, yeah, they said they hadn't seen her that day, but it wasn't anything suspicious yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they had not. I think they had not spoken with her much since Billy went missing. Actually, so it's been weeks potentially. They were kind of sheepish about it. They were like, didn't know how to reach out and like be emotionally supportive and stuff, so they just didn't. Was kind of the vibe.
But they still kind of knew that she was around, and not like just also disappeared.
I think they had seen they had said like they saw her around town a couple times, but like never like actually sat and talked or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
not knowing what to do with big emotions.
Yeah.
At this point, we know it was sometime between the date and Billy arriving home that something happened, so maybe something happened with Jane, too.
It's possible.
That is, possible.
So, for the sake of brevity, just because of the time we're getting to here, I'll say you do go to the country bunker. Strangely, Billy's friends are not there. You did see them there around this time the day before. Not today. Maybe they just don't do that on Fridays. Maybe they're out somewhere else. But either way, you don't see them there today. You do talk with the bartender, who's the same one that had the shift the previous day. And you find out that this bartender at the country bunker also has not seen Scott Adams for a couple days. Same time frame.
That's not great.
Years to go.
What was that? Sorry?
Oh, would get beers to go as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you get a bunch of beers to go for later, for when you'll inevitably want to drink yourself to sleep.
Mm-hmm. We learned from last time.
Yes.
And also, I think maybe half of us have some sort of sleep disorder at this point.
True.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, I'm just gonna starting to feel that on the Miro board. For those of you who can see it.
I find it funny how
Reservoir Lake is what I'm highlighting right now. But yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
I find it funny how everything left to right just gets larger.
More important.
I've been adjusting the board as we go.
So, are you guys okay
I've been
with going
very,
like
Alan Wake 2 Saga's Mind Place about this.
Let's go. Are you guys okay with going a little late since we started a little late tonight? Like maybe 15, 20 minutes? All right.
I'm okay.
Let's continue for a little bit then.
Lily needs your attention.
Yes, I'm giving her some pets right now. So, you all... Where are you going now? Do you want to try and track down the kids at a different place? Do you want to go back to the motel now that you've confirmed that Scott Adams hasn't been seen around town? Other leads to chase?
I mean, I don't think any of us actually tried his door when we were there.
We didn't try his...
Just knocked.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, yeah. I think we kind of have to go and check on his room.
Maybe we split up, because I wanted to check on Jane as well. Assuming it's, like, still, like, somewhere between 6 and 8:30 in the evening. Yeah,
our FBI contact might be able to get her address by now. if you want to take one of us with you,
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you
maybe
split it
Hunter,
and take the
because
secret
High
agent
Tide.
thing.
Yeah, because High Tide was the one who saw the mold. Hallow's the other one who had weird hallucinations. So I think they make sense to check on Scott's room.
Yeah, Hunter will go with Hemitate.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also gonna say, when we went into our motel rooms, is there a window in the front and back, or is it like they're butted up together, so there's 6 on one side and 6 on the other?
Very, very small window in the back. It looks like the back of each room is where the bathroom is, and there's just like a tiny little window at the top so that like a little bit of natural light can get into the room, but it's not like a you don't put a
Ventilation
full
window.
size. Yeah, it's like a ventilation window and like a little bit of natural light, but not actually something that's like you're going to be able to climb through or really even look through. It's going into a bathroom, so
Well, I mean, we're looking for supernatural stuff, so I'd at least go check on it.
that's fair. So let's jump there now then. So it's High Tide and Hallow that are heading to the motel.
Yes.
All right. So you head over there. You check around the back side of the motel, looking up at that little window there, and yeah, it's just a small, like, little slit along kind of the ceiling, letting a little bit of light in. Like I said, it's probably frosted as well. Not really anything you can see through it, but it is there. And give me another sanity check.
Both of
High
us this
Tide.
time?
Just High
Okay.
Tide. Yeah, the window looks clean. I mean, it looks dirty, but it doesn't look like it has weird purple mold growing on it.
So with the sanity check, do I feel something creeping up, or does it just feel normal?
No, it feels pretty normal to you right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything's normal back here. I guess,
Let's
do we
just
want to
go.
try to ask the front desk, or just try to break
fine.
in?
I'm going to ask the front desk. So, yeah, Hal will go up to
Oh.
the front and
Yes,
say, hello.
Yeah, can I help you?
Hi. I'm Special Agent William Calder.
She
And
straightens her back. Oh. Yeah, yes.
so I'm
Agent.
here with some of my fellows and investigating some things, drugs mostly, and
Oh my goodness.
in the course of our investigation, we don't suspect Scott at all, really, but we've found that he hasn't been seen around town for a number of days. And my own interests aside, I know that he was asking questions about the sleepwalking incidents, and if those are drug related, like we think they are, there might be a chance he's run afoul of someone. And we'd like to check his room for any evidence we could find.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, officer, agent, what should I,
You can just call me Will.
Will, okay, Will, Agent Will, I don't mean to doubt you, of course, but just could I see your badge? I just know,
Of course.
just to make, just make sure you're not the
Yeah, he
craziest
produces
person.
his normal FBI badge.
She breathes a little bit of a sigh of relief. Okay, I'm sorry, I've never done a FBI, huh?
Oh, no.
We've never. Okay, yeah, here.
No, I'm sorry for the stress. I'm sure this isn't normal for you.
Oh, no. It's you're the one that has a stressful job. Here, here's his key. Just bring that back to me when you're done, please, and let us know if you
course.
need anything else. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
Of
please
course.
try to keep this quiet. We don't want everyone in
Yeah,
town to be
okay.
freaking out.
That makes sense. Okay, she's nodding, almost to like reassure herself. I can keep this quiet. Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I should tell my boss, but otherwise, we'll keep it quiet. Just because it's his business. I just work here.
And your boss is Merle.
Merle, yeah, the head alderman.
You know what? If you could, when do you have to tell him? Because it's a small town. Just we don't want to ruffle any feathers that, need to go unruffled yet.
How about you give me a persuade check or something? Try and talk her into
I could do
delaying
persuade.
her report. Right. Okay, I can. I'll just tell him the next time I see him. I guess that makes sense.
Thank you so much. And if we see him before you do, we'll let him know.
Okay. Thank you. Best of luck. Let me know if you need anything.
Yep. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So you have the key to the room. Da 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 da.
To the room to roll some sanity. To the room to roll some sanity.
Absolutely.
And
Turns out the journalist was made of mold all along.
I'm also just so much more suspicious of Merle the longer we stay in town.
Yeah.
Especially like, I have to tell my boss. No thanks. I don't want the guy who owns the entire town to know we're here and looking for guy who went missing, who was asking questions about people going missing.
Definitely on the way back to the room, I would have been like, "Good job getting it, keeping it out of Merle's hands. And he's something."
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable about that guy.
Gotta take her out. No witnesses. 2 silenced pistol shots.
I do have that gear.
Oh no.
So let's snap back to it. You're at the door. You just put the key in and open it? Doing anything special?
Yeah, just
Alright.
putting the key in, opening the door.
Key fits. It unlocks quickly and easily. The normal click sound of it opening. You pull the key out and you go to push open the door, and there's some resistance to the door. You kind of push it. It's not like it's stuck or anything. There's more friction than there was compared to the doors in your room. So you push it in a little bit and kind of poke your head in to look around, and the inside of the room is dark. It's extremely dark in here. And it looks like underneath the door, a towel was sort of pushed up against the cracks. Like all the cracks in the door were sealed with like towels and like shirts and like underwear and any kind of fabric this guy could get his hands on to just shut out all light. The window blinds are closed. They're like taped to the side of the windows so that no light gets through, just duct tape. And it's just perfectly dark in here. But now that you've opened the door, some sunlight's coming in, but yeah.
We don't see any rainbow light.
Nope. No rainbow light. There is a bad
reach for
odor.
the switch on the wall. And
what kind of bad odor is it? Is
yeah,
it like death smell, or is it?
I think Will would be familiar with death smell.
It is death smell. You go to flick on the light to the room. No light comes on. You can see, as you look up, curious about that, the light bulbs have been taken out of the light fixtures. There are junk food containers littering the floor all over the place. There's a computer resting on the bed, plugged into the wall currently. Currently powered off, but it's there. The only light in the room currently is what's coming in through the door you've opened.
You said you saw mold earlier?
I did see mold earlier, and it felt just like what we... you said... I don't know if we've talked about this, but I think you said something about it that night. It's a little fuzzy to me, but I do remember mold.
I remember you talking about mold then, too. I think this guy saw mold also. Close the door. We don't... shit. We don't want as little light as we can get in here as possible. I think we might be...
Yeah, I mean, I can attempt to get onto his laptop. I'm pretty good with computers and stuff.
Yeah, get that out of here. Also, before we go in, just make sure you'll run out to his trunk and grab a couple of gas masks out of it and hand one to High Tide before you go in there.
Thank you. I'll put it on. Was a pretty bad smell.
So now
I don't
we
want us
hear
breathing in spores.
this conversation punctuated by the sharp sounds of breath being forced through these gas masks in and out. The slight fog on the interior visor as you look around through everything, and the distortion of that visor as well. But you're protected
Who's my friend
from.
with the flashlight?
That's
That would
me.
be, yeah, that'd be high tide.
Oh, I am definitely like
Aiming that for
like white knuckle gripping it in my hand with it
Yeah.
turned on.
So you
So you
have
pull-
a light source and you close the door.
Yeah. So currently, High Tide is taking the laptop outside, and Hala, what are you doing?
Hallow is going to investigate the room a little bit further. He smelled death. He wants to know if Scott is in there.
All right. You look around. The main room, pretty empty. It's trashed, it's dirty, there's clothes scattered everywhere. It appears that it's kind of strange. It's like things are tossed in corners. Some things are nicely folded in a couple places. It's mostly like very, very smooth and soft clothing, like pajamas and things like that. But anything you notice with a even slightly grainier texture, that's what's been used to block out the light in different places, or it's just thrown in a corner completely, not being having been touched in a while. But then you get to the bathroom, which is also dark. A bunch of socks have been stuffed in that window up high to keep the light out coming through that ventilation and light window there. The light bulbs have also been removed from the light fixture in this room. But this is where the smell has grown the strongest. And immediately upon opening the door, you can see blood pooled on the floor. The tub in the bathroom it's got a man in it, filled with extremely bloody water. He's got scruffy, dark hair and a bushy beard. He's wearing a t-shirt, you can see. Can't see deeper into the tub because of the blood, but it's very, very rich red blood. The man is clearly dead. His jaw is slack, his eyes rolled back. He's starting to bloat. He's been dead for a while. There's a strange bulge in the top right of his head. A whitish tissue about 8 centimeters in diameter with no hair on it at all. This bulge does not look like human tissue. What do you do?
So bulge on his head, looks inhuman. What was on the t-shirt again? Could I not see because of the water?
The t-shirt says Knoxville FantasyCon 1989.
Ooh.
Just looks like a kind of nerdy t-shirt.
Let's see. I pull out my Polaroid camera, take a picture of what I see, and I back away.
Give me a sanity check as well upon seeing this body. All right, that's going to be. I'm going to make this 2 sanity, one from unnatural and one from just seeing this dead body here, from violence. So you can check those off. Oh, and I'll handle it next time. That's fine.
Violence.
You can.
This is still the same session as last time for violence, right? Or I have violence checked from something.
Yes. So you add another check to it. Whenever you go temporarily,
because
insane,
Billy was shot. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we had the violence from.
If you ever go temporarily insane, like you lose 5 or more at a time, or you reach your breaking point, that's when you wipe those out. But until then, you continue to check them.
Got it. Okay.
So if you lose sanity. 5 or more sanity, you lose the check mark?
Yes, because you go temporarily insane. Yeah.
I lost 6 last turn, so I get rid of them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you get rid of those checks. So you snap a picture. It clearly affects you to see this body like this. But what are you doing now that your mind has absorbed this a little bit?
If I have any sort of plastic bag, like I'm sure I have an evidence bag on me, and gloves and things. I'm gonna try and get a sample of whatever that flesh is.
All right. So you pop back out to your car or something, maybe to get the evidence kit. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
So you pop out, you get bags and something to take samples. You come back in, maybe Agent High Tide sees you rushing and maybe a slightly pale face, but so that's up to you, Agent High Tide, if you want to follow him in there, or if you're going to keep looking at the laptop.
I'm going to tell him not to come in.
At this point, I'm probably... I don't know if Hallow has the back of the car open, but I would probably be somewhere trying to get into the computer.
Okay, just
if it still even turns on.
Nate, you're probably in your room.
So Hallow, you enter back into Scott Adams' room. You head back into the bathroom. You step carefully over the bloody floor. You try to take a sample, but you've gotten to the body, and that lump on his head is gone. Give me another sanity check.
Oh, good. Hold on.
This one will be for helplessness.
Oh, cool. I'm adding stuff to the board real quick.
Yeah, no
Editing
worries.
my previous entry.
Classic. And when I say the bulge in his head is gone, I don't mean that it has returned to human flesh with hair sprouting from it.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
mean
it's just not there anymore.
It looks like it crawled away. There is a gap in this guy's skull. You can see brain matter and just an entire chunk of his skull missing. Part of his head is just gone.
Question.
Yes.
Did the great thing look
Spaghetti-O.
anything like the
Oh, that's better.
alien?
Did it look like the aliens? No.
Like the weird dog thing, any of their weird heads?
It did not look like that, no. But you didn't get a very good look at it in the dark, and maybe you'll study it more later or something. But so success,
Okay.
you don't lose any sanity, but that thing is gone.
Immediately swap to my camera again, take another picture, and I'm even more cautious about leaving now.
So you snap another picture. And we're gonna end the session with you Polaroid camera, right? So you pull the picture out of the camera after you snap the picture, and as you're tucking that away or whatever, the water in the tub sloshes a little bit, and that's where we're gonna end the session for this week.
Nice.
Woo!